Say Dr. Sudhir Ruparelia.
Ladies and gentlemen, a very big round of applause. I will request my senior, my elder in Pan-Africanism, Bishop Joshua Maponga, will be joined by Madam Adija Huzea. If you could also come on the platform, so that one can give him the award, then the other will put a medal on him. I think on behalf of the President, Hadija Namiaro can do that. Hajat, thank you so much. So Bishop Maponga, I will give him the card. It is me who gives these cards. It is only me. Ladies and gentlemen, give Dr. Sudhir Ruparelia a very big round of applause. So now Dr. joins the club of Pan-Africanists. You now become a permanent member, and your card is platinum card, Dr. Sudhir. Now you're a member of the Pan-African Pyramid, and you're holding a platinum membership card. This is the highest.
Thank you.
Thank you. Let us ask Madam Hajat Namiaro to put a medal in the neck of Dr. Sudhir. Some photos. Dr. Sudhir, okay. Would you like to say something?
Wow, what a moment, huh? You know, somebody whose family came to Africa in 1897, landed in Mombasa, and reached Uganda in 1903. My father was born here in 1932. I'm born here. My children are born here. So we're 4 generations in Africa. And of course, we are lobbying when there's a new constitutional amendment in the country to include the Bahindi, as they call them, as a tribe.
As a community.
As a tribe. As a tribe. And recognize the tribe. You can't be in any nation 120 years and still being called a foreigner, honestly. Last year, I was the largest individual taxpayer in the country. My real estate company was the largest taxpayer in the real estate business. And in the hotel as well, we're the largest taxpayers. So I don't know who's more Pan-African than... Anyway, but I'm only truly honored. And this is something very, very honorable to have been awarded, and I'm going to treasure it, and it's going to go next to my credit card, so it's always with me. Thank you. And of course, Bishop and Madame Hajat, this is a big honor for me, and I'll continue to treasure it, and not only that, I'll also continue to support the Pan-African movement in Uganda, and many years to come. Anytime you need some, my advice or support, I'm always there.
Thank you.
And it's a true honor for me to be here. Thank you so much. Thank you, all of you, for being here. Thank you very much.
I'm so grateful, Chairman.
No, it's my pleasure.
Honoring.
Thank you once again. Madam,
Thank you. Mvandimwe, let's go for the next one.
Thank you very much. Can Dr. Sudhir Ruparelia have another round of applause, please? As he goes to his seat, at this juncture, we're just waiting for Dr. Sudhir to take his seat. Then we'll call for the next award to be given. And I think what Dr. Sudhir Ruparelia said that was poignant is that once the Constitution changes, it's important to lobby to have the Asian community as one of the tribes of Uganda for their contribution made. At this juncture, I'd like to call upon our next recipient. Our next recipient is the President of the Republic of Uganda, President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, for his contribution to the Pan-Africanism cause. The clip, please.
His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, the President of the Republic of Uganda, is not only a pivotal figure in Uganda's history, but also a key father figure of an advocate for Pan-Africanism at an international level. Since ascending to power in 1986, has consistently promoted the Pan-African agenda of a self-reliant united African sovereignty, positioning himself as a key voice in the Pan-African movement. Museveni's early exposure to the socio-political dynamics of Africa during the colonial and post-colonial period greatly influenced his ideological leaning. As an academic student in Tanzania and military trainee in Mozambique, he drew inspiration from African revolutionary leaders such as Kwame Nkrumah, Julius Nyerere, Jomo Kenyatta, among others. His involvement in the guerrilla war that brought him to power shaped his vision of liberating Uganda and Africa from neo-colonialism and imperialism, and has openly continued to speak against the West's cowboy colonial mentality of bullying African leaders and plundering of African resources while enriching themselves.
It's a shame that the whole of the African countries is just asleep, waiting to be saved by others. If they don't save us, we shall die, like happened with the slave trade. How can this be? Slave trade went on here for 400 years. These idiot chiefs were here just putting on monkey skins and so on, looking like clowns.
Museveni's leadership is deeply rooted in Pan-African ideals, with a few humanitarian challenges notwithstanding. He has consistently championed African unity and integration, emphasizing the importance of collaboration among African nations to address common challenges such as poverty, diseases, and underdevelopment. Under his leadership, Uganda has been an active participant in regional organizations such as the East African Community, the African Union, where he pushed for stronger political and economic ties across the African continent. Because of his leadership skills, Museveni is the current chairman to 120 world countries under their movement organization, the Non-Aligned Movement, having been overwhelmingly elected in January 2024 at the 19th Summit of the Non-Aligned Movement held in Kampala. Aligned with his Pan-African philosophy, Museveni has consistently advocated for economic self-reliance, value addition to African raw material resources and industries. Africa must stop exporting raw materials and instead export finished goods, he has repeatedly said, adding thus, African nations must reduce their reliance on foreign aid and pursue homegrown solutions to African challenges. Under President Museveni's leadership, Uganda has been commended for successfully championing the fight against man-made pandemics such as HIV and AIDS, Ebola, and COVID-19. President Museveni has also been commended for his affirmative action programs for women emancipation, especially at the time when he had a female president, Dr. Special Zawandera Kazibe, for nearly a decade, and has done much to encourage women to pursue education. His current vice president, current prime minister, among others, is another example for women participation in national leadership under his watch. Museveni has also been applauded by the righteous-minded world leaders for promoting African children when he stood his ground and signed the anti-homosexuality bill into law, criminalizing anti-human behaviors that aim at destroying African society. Because of Museveni and the parliament, Uganda is now used as a benchmark by many world countries who seek to deal with the ugly monster.
We have been disappointed for a long time by the conduct of the West, the way you conduct yourselves there. But we just keep quiet. We just see how you do things, how the families, how they are organized, in all these things. We see them, we keep quiet. We never comment because it's not our country. Maybe you like it. So, since there is now an attempt at social imperialism to impose social values of one group on our society, then our disappointment is now exacerbated because we are sorry to see that you live the way you live. But we keep quiet about it. Now you say we must also live like us. Say no. We say no. And am I worried? Not at all. We should be worried about what? Because to tango needs two people to dance. If the West doesn't want to work with us because of homosexuals, then we have enough space here and do business with other people.
Leadership has also prioritized regional trade, infrastructure development, and industrialization as reflected in his role as a mediator and peacekeeper in various regional conflicts. He has been instrumental in brokering peace agreements in countries such as Sudan, South Sudan, Kenya, Somalia, Burundi, and the Democratic Republic of Congo, viewing regional stability as essential for the continent's progress. His efforts in promoting African solutions to African problems have earned him recognition as a statesman dedicated to Pan-African solidarity, filling the gap left by Colonel Muammar Gaddafi, who was killed by America because of working to unite Africa. Beyond politics and economics, Museveni has emphasized the importance of African cultures, traditions, and identity in the Pan-African discourse. He has encouraged the revival and preservation of African languages, traditions, and values, arguing that cultural heritage is crucial for Africa's development. Museveni remains a significant figure in Pan-Africanist movement, advocating for a strong, united, and prosperous Africa that can assert its place on the global stage. As a leader who has navigated the complexities of a post-colonial Africa, President Museveni has been honored several prestigious awards that recognizes his immense contributions to Pan-Africanism, regional stability, and African unity. These include the African Union's African Peace Award in 2018, the Julius Nyerere Peace and Security Award in 2016, the African Leadership Excellence Award in 2017, the Pan-African Movement Lifetime Achievement Award in 2013, the Order of the Champions of Oliver Tambo in 2017, and the Kwame Nkrumah Africa Leadership Award in 2019, among others. Ladies and gentlemen, let's honor President Museveni's contributions in the development of Africa with a standing ovation as he receives this year's African Revolutionary Leader of all times.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you are looking for a Pan-African, I want to be clear. I know some of you are going to speak a lot of things. I have profiled President Museveni for what he has done, what he has achieved. You may have a different opinion, but tell me any lie that I've spoken there about him. So that's the reason we have awarded him. So you can have other opinions, I don't mind. But for me, there are people actually who say Nelson Mandela betrayed South Africa. Because up to now, 67% of the land is still in the hands of the white people. You also do it. You also do your part. I will invite Hadija Namyalo to receive this award on behalf of the president. She will dress the medal. No, they don't dress the medal. She will just hand it over to you. Because it's not yours, Hadija. So, no, you bring the medal, let the doctor hand it over to Ajot. Ladies and gentlemen, give a big round of applause. Something in the background. Thank you. That is, we appreciate the Pan-African agenda that President Museveni has worked on. President Museveni told the whites, we don't want LGBTQ in Uganda. When he's the president, but there are those who do not even have a decision when they have not even yet taken power. So what about when you take power? What about when you take power? Museveni has stood on his ground and said, we don't want LGBTQ. And because of that, they have cut aid for his country, for his government. And he's okay with that. But there are those I see, they have not yet taken power. But when you ask him, please tell us, do you support LGBT? He said, what about when you take power and there is billions of money you are going to lose if you say, I don't support? What about that? So we commend him for standing on his ground and say, this is not good for my people. This one I can tolerate, this one I cannot tolerate. Thank you. Dr. Grace?
Thank you very much, Comrade Irumba. I don't know how many awards our president deserves. And I'm one of those very lucky ones who joined Pan-Africanism when I was still a student, and he was going down south to Mozambique, Frelimo, from NASA, to fight apartheid. When we talk about Pan-Africanism, some people think it's a joke, but some people have lived true Pan-Africanism and true solidarity, and that is none other than our president, Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. And with this, Comrade Hajati Namialo, you can't wear it to deliver. And tell him these are just small tokens, because he deserves much, much more. And thank you so much. Aluta continua.